Okay, hey, today we are going to do something a little bit different. So this is like a Juneteenth, well, just passed, but this is going to be a Juneteenth week, right? Hey, try something like that. For today is something really special, which is the letter from Karl Marx to Abraham Lincoln. It written in 1864 and was presented to the president in 1805. So the address of the International Working Men's Association to Abraham Lincoln, right in front of me, and is written by Karl Marx, November 22nd, 29th of 1864. Starts off by saying this: Sir, we congratulate the American people upon your re-election by a large majority. If resistance to the slave power was the reserved watchword of your first election, the triumphant war cry of your re-election is death to slavery. For the commencement of the titanic American strife, the working men of Europe felt instinctively that the Star-Spangled Banner carried the destiny of their class. The contest for the territories which opened the dire epopehe was it not to decide whether the virgin soil of immense tracts wedded to the labor of the immigrant or prostituted by the tramp of the slave driver. When an oligarchy of 300,000 slaveholders dared to inscribe for the first time in the annals of the world's slavery on the banner of armed revolt, when on the very spots where hardly a century ago the idea of one great democratic republic had first sprung up, where the first Declaration of the Rights of Man was issued, and the first impulse given to the European Revolution of the 18th century, when on those very spots counter-revolution with systemic thoroughness gloried in rescinding the ideas entertained at the time of the formation of the old Constitution, and maintained slavery to be a beneficent institution, indeed, the old solution of the great problem, the relation of capital to labor, and cynically proclaimed property in man the cornerstone of the new edifice. Then the working class of Europe understood at once, even before the fanatic citizenship of the upper classes for the Confederate gentry had given its dismal warning, that the slaveholders' rebellion would sound the Tuscan for a general holy crusade of property against labor, and that for the men of labor, when their hopes for the future, even their past conquests, were at stake in that tremendous conflict with the other side of the Atlantic, everywhere they bore, therefore, potentially the hardships imposed upon them by the cotton crisis, opposed enthusiastically the pro-slavery intervention of their betters, and, for most parts of Europe, contributed their quota of blood to the good cause. While the working men, the true political powers of the North, allowed slavery to defile their own republic, while before they mastered and sold without his concurrence, they boasted in the highest prerogative of the white-skinned laborer to sell himself and choose his own master, they were unable to attain the true freedom of labor, or support their European brethren in their struggle for emancipation. And this barrier to progress has been swept off by the Red Sea of Civil War. The working men of Europe feel sure that, as the American War of Independence initiated a new era of ascendancy for the middle class, so the American anti-slavery war will do for the working classes. They considered an earnest of the epoch to come that it fell to the lot of Abraham Lincoln, the single-minded son of the working class, to lead his country through the matchless struggle for the rescue of an enchained race and reconstruction of a social world, signed on behalf of the International Working Men's Association of Central Council. And the ambassador, Adam, replies, Sir, I am directed to inform you that the address of the Central Council of your association, which was duly transmitted through to legation to the President of the United States, has been received by him. So far as the sentiments expressed by it were personal, they are accepted by him with a sincere and anxious desire that he may be able to prove himself not unworthy of the confidence which has been recently extended to him by his fellow citizens and so many of the friends of humanity and progress throughout the world. The government of the United States has a clear consciousness that this policy neither is nor could be reactionary, but at the same time it adheres to the course which it adopted at the beginning of the abstaining everywhere from propagandism and unlawful intervention. It strives to do equal and exact justice to all states and to all men, and relies upon the beneficial results of that effort for support at home and for represent and goodwill throughout the world. Nations do not exist for themselves alone, but to promote the welfare and happiness of mankind by benevolent intercourse and example. It is in this relation that the United States regard their cause in the present conflict with slavery, maintaining insurgence as the cause of human nature, and they derive new encouragement to preserve, to persevere from the testimony of the working man of Europe that the national attitude is favored when their enlightened approval and earnest sympathies. I have the honor to be, sir, your obedient servant, Adams. That was from November 19th, 1864. No, from January 1865. Yeah, January 28th, 1865. Thank you guys. This is a short video, so there you go. Have fun. Hope you enjoy. If you'd like to subscribe.